Hello, this is Tim and Karen Titus from Stampin' on the Back Porch, and we're doing a podcast about creativity, paper crafting, and life.
So do you realize it was 25 years ago this month that I started my paper crafting business?
Isn't that weird?
So
quarter of a century ago.
what an interesting time it's been. Back at that time, we had a bunch of young kids. I was homeschooling. Your job ended. The company was bought up by somebody else, and I wanted to figure out what I could do to bring in a little money, just working some evenings until you found another job. And I think the thing that's interesting, I would have never, ever considered direct sales because I just didn't see myself as a salesperson at all. But when I saw this, I thought, you know what? People are going to look at my hands, and I surely can teach people how to make cards. So I said, and the rest is history. During this time, we have met so many wonderful people in our lives. And to be at this point, and we travel, we meet people.
Been on wonderful vacations.
Yes. It's been, a lot of people have joined us in the business. So I just thought we'd take a little bit of an opportunity today just to talk about the business. I don't do this a lot, but just, and sometimes I think, if you're listening, sometimes it's fun to just hear how people got to where they are. And if in your mind you're thinking, oh, my daughter, my sister, my whoever needs to hear this, we just always appreciate the recommendation. I am just so grateful that this came into our lives, so.
Or my grandma, because Karen's a grandma.
Yeah. Back when and well, I was just thinking back, back when our life was so different. Yes, now here we are, at an age where we're free to go. It's just the two of us. It's so nice not being tied down to other things. But back then, we have 5 kids, and so life was very different and kind of doing this, and we had no space in our house. And I think what's really interesting is, I'm going to explain what I do for business, but there are so many different ways of making money with a paper crafting business. Nobody needs to do what I did. I just think these are just individual journeys, and it's just kind of it's just a fun opportunity to talk about. I did ask a few members of my group kind of why they joined, and I'll share their thoughts at the end. But first, I just wanted to mention that. Before we talk about different ways of making money, I first just wanted to say, why pay full price? So a big reason. I am a Stampin' Up! Demonstrator, by the way. If I haven't mentioned that, you don't realize that. But this would apply to a lot of different direct sales, and even if you're not in direct sales. But I think some people do this to make some money. Other people do it just to get the discount, and then you're saving money. So I just wanted to do that delineation because that works too. But if we're talking about actually making money, some people we built this into our business. Now you work for me. I said, I said, it's great. This is, this is.
She's a good boss.
Our main business, and we just kind of add the parts that we're both good at, and we work well together. It's really fun.
It includes cooking and cleaning, but that's
okay. That's right. Yeah, it's all good, but. I guess if he includes this in the job descriptions, they're just not going to get done if he doesn't, do it. That's the real reality. But for a lot of people, if they want to make a little money, it's just to support their hobby. I mean, if you don't have to take the money you're spending on your hobby out of the family money, then that just makes it worth doing right there. Or maybe it's to pay for a vacation or something extra like that, or anything between. So I just love that there's all kinds of different reasons. Now, of course, some of the ways I make money are directly connected to direct sales. So first I wanted to mention that I make commission as people join me in the business. I also make commission on their sales, and I reach different bonuses. So I get extra. Some of those are cash bonuses. And what's your favorite bonus that we get every year?
Besides travel, or
that
is it
that
travel?
would be the travel. That's the one Tim cares about.
Yeah. No, it's much better than the cash.
In fact, do you remember the one year? It was only 1 year. There had been a lot of things going on that year, and I wasn't sure I was going to earn the trip.
Yep.
And you came up with this fun idea that you sent an email out to everybody saying that you really wanted to go. It was to Alaska.
Yeah.
We'd never been there. And, we'd never been traveling like this other than with a tent and our kids and our life before Stampin' Up! But you really wanted to go. And so what did you offer?
I don't remember.
Do you remember?
I just remember that we made it. We got it.
Yeah, and you made your famous chicken salad.
Oh, yeah.
I will have to put a connection
Open
to that
house.
because we have printed. I said you were going to do an open house for your chicken salad, and you were inviting inviting everybody that knew me. And oh yes, by the way, Karen will have a couple stamping projects if you want to do them. As he said, and I said, it was really fun to do that because people really kind of got behind that. And because it came from you and it was a specific thing that mattered, it's not something you would do it at all every year. But that one year, it was really fun. And we still hear from people who, oh yeah, I had that chicken salad. We served it for my son's graduation. It's just really fun that all came from that story. And then after that, we started posting a few recipes that you did now and then.
Yep, it's coming back to me.
Yeah, so it's just kind of fun how all that has kind of come out of this too. So there's all those kinds of things. But in addition to that, there are class fees. Just charging money for classes, and that would have nothing to do with, then it's nice to get the discount, but it has nothing to do with needing to be in direct sales. But I love that you can do that. There's also finished product sales.
Say more about that, class fees. So where would the class be?
Oh, online now, but either way, either in person or online. I think there's class fees. There's also finished product sales. A lot of people do that, whether you do it online through Etsy or your Facebook store, or you do craft fairs. I mean, I think they'll come back again. They'll be big again someday. A lot of people have done that. So they just want to get a discount on the product because where they're making their money is on the finished product sales. You can design products, design your own tutorials, sell the tutorials. So I think it's fun to just think about that. And people say to me, oh, but Karen, I can't teach. Sounds fun, but I can't teach. And I love to say, so if you ever sat down and crafted with your grandkids or showed a friend what you learned, that's all this is. You're already teaching. And I think a natural flow from learning all these creative things is to share them to someone else. And I think right now, during the pandemic, people are really looking for small groups where they really get to know each other. And
what's possible on the internet now, virtually, is just like totally different than it was 25 years ago.
It is, and so much is exploding there. But I also think there's a lot of room to not even think about exploding and going big on the internet, but to have a small crafting group that you can get together with. And the thing about it being on the internet is it could be somebody's friend or your friend or somebody from another state. You don't have to be, it's kind of like moving what we were doing in person online, which means anybody can come. You can do it for a class fee and people provide their own things and you're just teaching different things. You can do where you'd sell a kit and then people would pay for the kit and then you all make them together. But if you do something like that once a month, I just think you become really close. It's kind of like one of the things I love about in-home classes. We just become good friends and you're all chatting about life and you get to know each other really well. And I think one thing we have discovered during this year is that we can replicate some of those same things. And then you can always do the in-home as that works out too. But I love that we also have brought that online.
Yep. But going back to the social part, Karen and I grew up in the same hometown. My mother belonged to a thing called Birthday Club, which I don't know. It was like a bunch of women that all shared their birthday and gave each other's gifts. I think they gave gifts, and they had a birthday, huge birthday party once a month for all the people that were born in May or June or whatever.
I think they played a certain card game, but it was a reason, and then they'd celebrate whoever's birthday it was.
Really,
but yes,
like
but
Birthday Club used to be that, and this can actually take the place of that. This can
kind of
actually
like that intimate
bring
group.
You together for a reason with your lady friends, and
And if you're in a group like that, and one of you decides you would like to be a demonstrator and kind of be the supply, I just like to point out that there are so many different options and reasons to do this. With absolutely no obligation, no pushing, just like you to know what's out there. But I do think there is that need for these small groups. And so what a fun thing to do it. And to just know, it's always a deal to buy the starter kit. And there is a real special going on this month and next. So you can just let me know if you are interested in that. But know that there's never any obligation for me. I do not personally care what you choose to do with this. It is just strictly opportunity. There's no downside if you choose to not do one thing, not ever place an order. You got a great deal on your kit, and it's just fine. I like to say, as mostly women, our lives keep changing all the time, and we don't know what tomorrow brings. And I always think people are better off just trying it, because you also could be happily surprised that it goes places where you had no idea. So just know there's no feelings for me about what you need to do. I like to get to know you. I like to have you back as a customer. I just like to know that there's an option out there. So a couple of other really fun reasons. One is you get everything first. We get to order things a month before customers. And, for those of us who like it all and want it all, that's a huge bonus. Another thing I personally love, I love doing card swaps. And of course, that's optional. Some people don't like that at all, but you know how much I love doing those. Monday nights, we have a live. We do it on Facebook, and then we put it on YouTube. But all I do is share cards from card swaps and talk about the different cards. I could do that forever. And I can look at the same cards a week later and notice totally different things about them. So I think that just gets the creative juices flowing.
And you can see a card that makes you interested in that particular stamp set.
Yes, one that you had no interest in.
No interest.
Yes.
And all of a sudden you see what a beautiful
Yes.
card it makes. And it changes your mind.
So I participate in a lot of card swaps. And of course, that's, again, totally optional.
Do we go
yes.
get your last card?
No, we still have one waiting to pick up. But the other thing is you get to join our awesome group. So I just wanted to end at that. And of course, Stampin' Up! Is an awesome company. They provide tons of great stuff too. But I did just want to say our group is pretty wonderful. We're called The Fine Line, named after a bar downtown Minneapolis. But
A music venue.
we have our own Facebook Live every week, and people in there just are great at sharing and do all that. And we just absolutely love our group. So just wanted to throw that out. And then one more thing I just wanted to say. So who would this be for? I think this is for, I'm going to mention two groups specifically. I think this is the group, this is for those of you who are just getting started. You just thought, oh, I want to get into this, but I don't have anything yet. What a way to go. You get all this stuff for a really good price. After that, you get your discount and you can buy slowly over time. I love teaching people that you don't need to have it all. You use what you have and then you add to it. But your list is long, so it totally makes sense to get the discount, get in on the fun and the teaching and sharing. The other person I think that this is for the really avid stamper, those of us that want to have everything and we want to have it first. And you know what that means? That means also everyone in between. So yeah, it's really for everyone.
It is.
So I just had a couple of people share. Well, it's a few people, so I'm just going to mention. I'm just going to read a few comments. And I will put in the show notes how to reach me. You can always reach me through messages on Facebook or here, or my email is ktstamp, like Karen Titus Stamp, at usinternet.com, or stampingonthebackporch.com. I guess I have a lot of things. But this is just a little sampling, and the reason I like to do this is to show you that everyone has a different reason, and I love that. We are all unique, and we all get to support each other in whatever it is that we are wanting. So Susan Stitch, who's brand new in my group, says, I've been stamping for over 20 years. My mom was a Stampin' Up! Demo for a while. I felt it was my duty as a daughter to keep her in business. So I have tons of stamps and supplies. I recently found Karen's videos, and I'm re-energized. I've told my friends I'm a rep, but really, I'm doing this for myself. Patricia Groff said she joined because she once took a card class a few years ago, and then she found us online talking about Stampin' Up! She joined so she could get quality products at a discount. Said it's been a good self-esteem boost for me, and the women in this group have been so helpful sharing their ideas. I'm having fun, and it's something I can do to cheer up somebody else when they get one of my creations. I love this. Sometimes not the best, but it's the thought that matters. I love that. Nancy Muncombe says, I've been stamping for 30 years. With most of my supplies from Stampin' Up!, finally decided to join for the discount. I simply love Karen and Tim on all their groups. I've learned more in this short time than I have in a long time. Roz Wolf said, this is my second go-round as a demo. Isn't that great? I mean, it's no big deal. If you quit and you find yourself in another
Demo
later.
is short for demonstrator.
Oh, demonstrator, yes. And said, so recently I've rejoined and I have a small crafting group. I love paper crafting. It's my therapy. And that is such a great way to do it. Patricia Settle says she has been stamping for 25 years, mostly buying from stores. heard about Stampin' Up, but she didn't know about joining to get a discount. And then she decided, oh, I'm buying products, might as well get a discount. Makes it better for me. It's been a win-win situation. I love it. Also, Karen, Tim, and Holly, can't go wrong with them. And I have added so many online fine line friends.
But part of what Patricia is saying is that she did it for 30 years or 25 years, and then all of a sudden a light bulb came on.
Yeah, why not get it?
Yeah, and it's not like you have to start out where you end up.
And it's no big deal if it isn't for you, but it's just kind of an interesting thing. Ginny Kaplan, this is really fun. I've known some of these people for many, many years. Some of these are totally new to me online, so it's really fun. I remember this. She went on a Stampin' Up! Cruise with her daughter. She was her daughter's guest. This was a long time ago. And she said she met so many wonderful people and had lots of fun. So later, she decided to go on a mother-daughter vacation with her daughter and go to the Stampin' Up! Convention. So that means she had to buy a kit. So here she is, many, many years later, still a demonstrator, still loving it. I think that's just great. And she lives in California, and every year at convention, we would sit together and connect. There's just kind of that fun. Someday we'll get back to that in person again, and then it's just so fun to connect with people. Lee Reed, I've always enjoyed creating things, even as a small child when I would make things for my parents. I love that. I was the one creating treat bags and favors for my children when they were in school. I joined because I wanted to connect with people who share my love of paper crafts, because my friends and family don't. So that's another great reason just to have that connection. Deborah Travis Pound says she started as a demonstrator many years ago with her sister-in-law. We were working full-time, and we were mothers of several sons. So this was an all-boys group. That's hilarious. But we had a great time doing home parties. Still involved. I don't do parties anymore, but socially stamp with my girlfriends. Still a demonstrator. I love that. Still all those connections. Janice Frederick is another new person in my group. I've been a hobby stamper off and on for 20 years. I'm also a retired sign language interpreter. I decided to join so I could start providing card-making tutorials using American Sign Language for our deaf demonstrators and customers. I'm just getting started. I love stamping, and I love sharing what I'm doing. That's a whole nother purpose in what she's doing. Ronnie Johnson says to have the opportunity to do what I love and to share it with those I love. Lisa Wellman says, I started it to support my hobby. Really, I haven't even done that. But I've made some of the best, there's true honesty, Lisa, but I've made some of the best friends, not just crafting buddies, real friends, and that's worth more than anything. And Pam Sneath said, I wanted to hang out with one of my closest friends and go to convention with her, so I joined right before convention registration, and here I am, 15 years later.
That's great.
What I love about that is just their little snippets of all kinds of different reasons, and just what this has meant. So, I don't usually talk about my business so much, but every now and then I just really wanted to today, partly because there is a special going on, also partly because this is our anniversary. It's been 25 years. I am so grateful this came into our life and that we did this. It has changed our life in so many ways.
It has.
We love, all the conversations we have about who we have each talked to in our business or dealt with and things going on. And all these people that share their lives with us. So anyway, we just wanted to kind of say that today, that you are always welcome, or to pass this on to someone else who might even be interested in that, whether it's a customer joining us on our team, anything or everything, we are here to serve you, and we appreciate having you in our life.
Am I sending them cookies?
Tim's sending cookies this month because that's his little added thing. Anyone who joins our team, because we've just had fun with this. He's trying to find this recipe that his mom had, so it's just pretty hilarious. But we love doing what we do, and we appreciate you guys so much for listening. Thanks. Until next time.
Goodbye.